Hi Stampers, this is Dawn from DawnStampingThoughts.net, and today we're going to make this adorable moving card. You know how I love every card that moves, pops up, slides. Well, anyway, this card is called the Triple Tier Slider Card, and that's how it works. Don't you love it? So I must confess, I've watched a few videos, and I was really confused because my card was not sliding good. And I'm using the black cardstock, so you can see it slides very good. So I just made a few adjustments to this triple tier slider card. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here are the pieces we're going to use. This is considered the large base of the card, and this is cut at 4.5 by 11 5/8. So you will need a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, and the black and the Whisper White come in individual packs of 12 by 12. All the other colors are sold in assortment packs. So you get either 2 of the 10 colors in one pack, or the end colors you'll get 4 pieces of the 5 colors. But the black and the Whisper White you can buy individually in a pack by itself. Okay, so this is the large base. And then you have the medium size, which is the 3 1/8 by 10 1/4. Okay, so then this piece is cut at 3 by 3. All right, so let me go ahead and give you all the measurements of the layers. Okay, let's start with the mint macaron. Okay, so the mint macaron, this is cut at 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. And then this piece is cut at 3 1/4 by 2 1/8. And then the top piece is cut at 2 7/8 by 1 7/8. Okay, so let's give you the Whisper White piece. Okay, so the Whisper White is cut at 3 5/8 by 4 1/8. I'm going to layer on that one. This piece is cut at 3 1/8 by 2. And then this piece is cut at 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. Okay, so then you need 2 pieces of designer paper. That makes the sliding of the slider card slide a little bit easier. And these are cut at 1/2 inch by 2.5 or 3 inches. Okay, so let's grab our paper trimmer. Okay, so we're going to cut and score the large piece first. So this is considered the large bottom section of your triple tier slider card. So this is the piece that's cut at 4.5 by 11 5/8, and you're going to score this at 3 7/8. And 7/8 is right before the 4, and you're going to score this. Now I found that just folding the score line and then taking your other side and folding it inside right up to that score line makes it a little bit easier to have it all line up. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do the middle piece. This is the 3 1/8 by 10 1/4 piece, and we're going to score this at 3 3/8. So 3 3/8 is right before the 3 1/2. I'm going to score that. And then do the same thing. We're going to fold it and then fold this in to the inside. Okay, let me grab my bone folder and just give this a good crease here. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and apply the tear and tape. And I'm going to put it right along here on the left-hand side of the large base. And then also the same thing on the medium piece. Okay. Now we're going to cut. We're going to cut 2 slits on each of these pieces. So on the right-hand side of your panel here on the large piece, we're going to cut, we're going to line the score line right here up at the 1 inch score line on your cutter. And you're going to take your cutting blade and you're going to cut from 1/2 inch down to 3 inches. So now with this being black cardstock, I gotta make sure I can see this. Okay, so 1/2 inch down to 3 inches right there. Okay, so you're going to cut that. Then you're going to move your panel over and use your 1 inch over here and do the same thing. So you're going to cut it at 1/2 inch down to 3 inches. Okay, so you should have 1 inch border on each of your slits, all right? Now you're going to do the same thing on this piece, but instead of the 1/2 inch, you're going to start at a 1/4 inch down to 2.5. So you're going to take your score line, line it up at 1 inch. And this one we're going to start at a 1/4 inch down to 2.5. Then slide this over using your right hand side of your 1 inch right here. You're going to cut it at 1/4 down to 2.5. Okay, so you should still have 1 inch border on the side of your slits, all right? Okay, so I have both of my pieces of designer paper, and I'm going to fold the cut part, the slits here. This is where we cut. So I'm going to fold this in, and then I'm going to weave this designer strip, a piece of paper, between those cut lines. So it should look like this when you open it up. And then you're just going to go ahead and fold this over. You want it kind of snug, but not too tight, because this is going to be your moving mechanism of your slider card. So just fold it over. Now I'm going to trim this down just a little bit, because we don't need that much hanging over. Okay, so then that's really it for the sliding part. So then you're just going to open it back up, just like that. Then you're going to do the same thing with this one. You're going to fold it shut, weave your designer paper, and then you're going to fold it over. Just like that. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to take our tear and tape again. Now with the panels open, we're going to place our tear and tape on just the sliding part of your designer paper. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. Put a strip of it there. And right here. Okay. All right, now we're going to grab our 3x3 piece of basic black. We're going to remove our backing of the tear and tape, making sure this is all the way down to the slider where we cut it. And we're going to place this panel, the 3x3, right over top of that slider. And you can have it come up as high as you want, but I'm going to make a little pull for the slider, so I'm just going to go down a little bit lower, right about there. Okay, and then you're just going to go ahead and flip that over. I hope you're following me so far, because this can be kind of confusing. Then you're going to remove your strip of your tear and tape, making sure your designer paper is folded over. Then you're going to seal this up, just like that. Okay, so this is your first section of your triple tier slider card. Love it! Alright, so now let's go ahead and make a pulley real quick. So I got another piece of basic black, and we're going to use the 1.5 inch circle punch. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this in half. Okay, then I'm going to take my fast fuse, apply some adhesive on the back side of the circle, and I'm just going to put the circle, right in the center of that. Okay, so the receiver knows to pull that little circle there. Okay? Alright, so now to the base card. Do the exact same thing as we did for the medium section. We're going to peel off our tear and tape backing, making sure your slider's all the way down. Okay? And then we're just going to put that right in the center, just like that. Okay, so then this is going to fold over, making sure your tabs are folded and flat. And then we're going to peel off the backing of our adhesive and then fold it over. So now this seam right here is going to be the back of my card. So this is going to be the front. So then when you pull this, it's going to come out. Don't you love it? Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and stamp. The stamps that we're using is called You've Got This. I'm using actually all of these stamps in the stamp set. So first we're going to use the mint macaron with this background. I'm going to get some scrap. So we're going to get my Whisper White layers. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and stamp the background first. Okay, then we're going to grab our Memento ink. And I'm going to put the flower on there. And we're going to stamp the flower on the front of the card panel. I'm going to stamp it over to the left so I can get another greeting on the front. Okay, and then we're gonna stamp the "I'm here for you" with the Memento ink right along here. Hopefully I can do this on camera. Okay. Then it says, "You've got this." Let me see how I stamp this one here. Okay, "You've got this" is going to go on the top, so this is the smaller one. Okay. So I will say one thing: when you're making these layers for your slider card, you want to make sure you put enough adhesive so when you're applying the layer, it doesn't get caught up inside, so it adheres down really, really good. So I would just put adhesive along all 4 sides just to make sure that's covered. Alright, now it's just a matter of decorating your slider card. So I'm just going to go ahead and put adhesive on all 4 sides. Whoop! Okay, so then this is the top piece. I know this is black and it's not going to probably show up. Just all the layers. Okay, so you've got this as the top. Then "Good Things Are Going to Happen" is the second layer. It's actually going below the next panel. See there? So it should slide. Yep. Okay. Then this is going to be for the front. Okay, this is on there. Okay, so then see how it works? Isn't it cute? Alright, so now we're just going to go ahead and add some dazzling diamonds to the flower. Got my 2A glue. Just going to add some glue to the flower. So cute! I love, 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 love this card. I think the original creator was Heather Summers. So that's it. So there's that one. And then here are the other ones that I made for my Glitter Queens retreat. You're going to get one in the mail before the retreat starts. Okay, so thanks for stopping by and we'll see you later. Bye!